Today, we're going to be talking about the latest update from the City of Bellingham. They've just announced a new ordinance that will be released and enacted starting at the beginning of next year, January 1st. This was recently released at a city council meeting just yesterday, August 12th, 2024, and I'm excited to go through the breakdown of how this will affect both owners and residents throughout the City of Bellingham. So let's dive right into it. Cascadia News did an awesome article about the atmosphere of the council meeting yesterday. I would highly recommend checking out Charlotte Alden's article, source link down below there for future reference. Here we can see locking mailboxes will be required for Bellingham rental units starting January 1st, 2025. Now, where exactly is this update going to be coming into effect, and how are they going to be enforcing it? Here in the ordinance breakdown from the City of Bellingham, they talk about how newly constructed rental homes will have to pass the certification of occupancy test and will need the locking mailbox to do so. Or existing residential housing units will need to have that secure locking mailbox in order to get the renewal for their rental registration. So this is going to be going through the rental registration department. Yes, it's that same department that you have a very difficult time contacting because those poor people are already swamped to begin with. And this is adding on another layer for them. Now, what happens if you fail to comply, you completely forget, or you just aren't aware that this ordinance was enacted? Well, it's simply going to be like any other failure on the inspection. You're going to get that notice of correction as well as any applicable fees that will be charged along with that notice. It's going to be affected at the beginning of this year, this coming year, January 1st, 2025. And then you can see down below there that if there's a case by case basis, they'll do kind of a review to see if there's any unique hardship involved. But as we've seen with the past in terms of the City of Bellingham, they don't really make any exceptions to anything that they put into code or regarding their employees at all. So I doubt that they'll give any extension, and it's only for 3 months anyways. So not much news in that regard. But what will this cost the community? That's the big question that a lot of people are asking from the owner's perspective. And in Alden's article, she mentioned how Blake Lyon, of the Director of Planning and Community Development, talked about how boxes can range between $100 upwards of a couple $1,000 depending on the unit size of that building. And he is pretty spot on with that number, where my average is right around 125, just doing quick estimates on what a single family home mailbox would look like. As you can see, the wall mounted ones, which you'll see on apartment complexes, and maybe some single family homes where the mail goes directly to the door, ranging around the $60 mark. And then as you get to the standalone mailboxes, you're between $100 and $237. Or if you're the poor individual that has the smaller multifamily space, you can see here, courtesy of LT Design Construction Company, great friends of ours, and they recently purchased a mailbox. This was just a month or two ago for their new building, which is a duplex, and that ran them just under $720 for 2 mailboxes and a post. $720. That's not including installation. That's not including shipping. Looks like they had free shipping. It's not including the labor that's going to be for the installation or any other added materials. If you need to buy a post, reinforce the mailbox stand, concrete, whatever it is, it's only the mailbox. So let's do some quick math here and really get an understanding of how much this is going to cost the community. Roughly, again, rough numbers, 5,500 single family home rentals in the City of Bellingham currently. That's excluding multifamily units. So anything above that single family mark is not included in this number. I took an average of $125 per mailbox. Again, could be high, could be low. Just an average. I think it's low because it's not including shipping, post material, or the labor to install these mailboxes. And that's coming to a total of $687,500 just to spend on the mailboxes alone in the community. So if you're looking for a business endeavor, maybe short term, it may not be, get into the mailbox wholesaling and manufacturing business, because there is at least $687,000 in revenue, possibly available for City of Bellingham business owners that will need to be purchasing mailboxes to add to their rental homes. But why the sudden change? Why the heck has all this been thrown on us just in a matter of hours? Well, according to Alden's report, they announced some data. It looks like the City of Bellingham Police Department Information Officer Megan Peters talked about how in 2023 and 2024, to date, there were 71 police reports that included recovered stolen mail. So this isn't data on reported stolen mail. This is someone committed a crime. They arrested the culprit and found stolen mail within the vicinity of that individual, and it was linked to that individual. The police department actually has no data on reported stolen mail events. And it's stated that it's simply due to people don't know if their mail gets stolen or not. So the decision has been made to cost the community over $687,000 in mailboxes because we don't have data, and that there are 71 reports of mail actually being confirmed that it was stolen. It doesn't make much sense to me. So let's do more quick math. We don't have any accurate data to make this decision. We have the 71 reports. The total population of Bellingham is 95,960 folks. That's according to the City of Bellingham as of 2023. So what's the percentage of affected and confirmed individuals of this mail theft? Well, that brings you to 7/100ths. Let me repeat that, 7/100ths of a percent. That's less than 1/10 of a percent of folks affected by stolen mail and actually being confirmed by that. So what's this opportunity cost? So we're essentially making this decision and saying that we're going to spend $687,000 on mail theft on data that we don't have, or soft data of 71 confirmed cases in the past year and a half. But can we spend less than that number to prevent mail theft for less than 1% of our citizens? Has something like this actually been done? Well, I believe that we should truly try to prevent it rather than working with the criminals that are committing the crime of mail theft. There are examples of how larger municipalities how larger municipalities have reduced mail crime. As you can see here, from 2022 to 2017, we've seen large operations in large cities crack down on mail theft. So to me, it seems like there's no reason to not go there to try to prevent it altogether and actually prevent the crime from happening, rather than saying, hey, residents, hey, owners, you're going to have to take time, energy, and money, resources, valuable resources, to cater to these criminals to try to prevent them. And it's even argued that it may not even be prevented. I mean, how are you going to prevent package theft? Someone's going to go through your mailbox to try to find a credit card statement that actually has valuable information, even though the credit card statements are mostly electronic now, and all of them have the private information obscured. I don't know if that's a trade-off that I would be willing to make if I was in that position. Or you have the alternative of passing an ordinance that allows the resident to make a written request to have a locking mailbox installed. The landlord must comply within 30 days to have a new locking mailbox installed on the premises. That could be what was passed. No, Instead, they do a blanket statement of every single rental has to have a locking mailbox, that there is no option, that you don't give the optionality to a resident. Oh, by the way, now you're going to have a bunch of houses in the area with locking mailboxes that all look the exact same. But what does that mean? That means that it's a good chance that that home is a rental. So now you have all these people that basically have a sign up in their front their front yard, their driveway, wherever that says, "Hey, this is a rental home." What does that do for privacy? Do the residents want that? Are they aware that that could give away privacy, whether it be for criminals or just your neighbor next door or neighbors couple down? It's kind of excluding those folks and creating more division. Maybe. It's all figurative. But why not both? Why not do the added police patrol with the protection of the community on top of the selective ordinance allowing residents to request to have a locking mailbox installed on their property? But instead, the city has chosen to follow the more extreme path of California and New York, which in turn, as we've already experienced in the past couple of decades, and that we're seeing ahead of us with those two states, that they are continuing to promote crime. There's a massive increase of crime. Crime is now forcing citizens out of these areas. It's ushering in higher housing costs, creating more division within citizens, and removing privacy of our residents. It's just completely avoiding focus on problems impacting the larger community: housing costs, homelessness, and the ability for someone to really just live a prosperous life in our community. It doesn't make sense. But what are we actually doing about it at Patos Property Management? At Patos, we're going to be having all of our work orders, new and existing, have the installation of locking mailboxes included on them. That way we can get those piggybacked onto existing work orders. It's going to save in labor costs and allow our trusted contractors to get those mailboxes installed pronto. Now, once November and December rolls around and we have a list of properties that haven't had any locking mailboxes installed, that's when we're going to tackle those at that time with our trusted contractors to make sure that those are getting installed quickly. As for the residents, I just want to make sure that everyone is prepared, that there will be someone visiting your property by the end of the year, and we will have to be able to give you a key to that locking mailbox. It will be one per home because most don't come with an additional key, as well as they're just a higher cost to replace, sometimes impossible. And it will be up to the residents of the home to have a set regimen on how that mailbox key is going to be distributed in terms of responsibility and all that good stuff. We also offer a resident benefits package with identity protection included. So the City of Bellingham mentioned how there's a large issue around identity protection. We do have that covered in our resident benefit package. You're happy to reach out to us to talk further about that. And then I also want to make sure that everyone's more aware that packages will be left on the front door with the mailboxes entrance being reduced in size to really just an envelope. All those small Amazon packages will really start to trickle towards the front door. So you're going to have to be more aware of that in order to gather your packages and your valuable goods off your front porch, the things that thieves are typically more prone to steal. Again, I'm Dane Larson with Patos Property Management. Please share this far and wide to any investors in the local area that might be affected by this and not aware of what's going on here in the city of Bellingham, or any residents. If you think that one of your friends, family members might not be aware of what's happening as well, please share this with them. I think it's valuable that they have a good understanding and are educated on what's going on and what their tax dollars, their valuable tax dollars, are going towards. You can visit us at www.bellinghamproperty.management or give us a call or email us. Either option works. We love to hear from everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your day and look forward to seeing you soon.